So tonight, we are going to be talking about a topic that is something when I heard about it, I was like, that sounds stupid. I was like, I remember the first time it ever the words ever crossed my mind to do a party online. I was like, that sounds so stupid. Those really sound stupid. And then I saw a few people do it and get really great results with it. And I was like, man, sometimes I misjudge things. And this may be one of those times. And then one of our people did it. I'm sure many of you may have done it, but one of our people did it and it actually put me on the page while they were doing it. And then I saw that they had like several people sign up and several customers join from doing this online launch party. And it was really simple, like really simple. And so I asked a fellow butterfly if she would share her story about, basically, since I haven't done it yet, I thought I would like you to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, since she has done it and she's had great results. And that's Miss Krista Deary, who has taken this business and literally just, she and her husband both have just taken off like rockets. And maybe that's because when they hear of a good idea, they don't go, that sounds stupid. I mean, it's just a possibility. I don't know for sure. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is she is out of town. She was going to join us on the call tonight. But I wanted it to be this week. Like, I wanted it to be last week. I wanted it to be the minute I heard about it because I'm impatient. But she's out of town this week and has a family reunion and something else, anniversary party, something. She has like a ton of stuff going on. And so I basically said, well, then instead, will you do a video for me talking about it? And she was gracious enough to do that. And she's so sweet. And, you know, anyway, I want you guys to watch this video of her talking about it. It's perfect. I'm going to share the screen with you really quick. And if she starts talking about it and you're like, I don't really know what she's talking about, be patient. Don't try to think ahead. Just be in the moment and listen to what she's saying. Hang on a minute. I feel like I need to mute everybody again because I still hear leak through noise. Okay. Don't try to think ahead because she will get around to making everything make sense. And when it's over, if it doesn't make sense still, then I'll answer some questions for everyone. So for now, give me 1 second here. Well, can you guys see well, I can't see any of you. Just a second. Jesse, are you seeing my screen? Okay, you're the person I could see your face right there. So here we go. If Jesse, for some reason, if you can't hear this or whatever, you need to like wave at me. Okay, here we go.
Hey guys, hello from Minnesota. We are in the midst of family reunion anniversary celebrations over here. So really quick, before all the family arrives and all 25 grandchildren and the place is chaos, I'm going to put together this video on the recent Facebook event that we had. It was our first one and it was a huge success. We called it a pajama party. So I'm just going to give a few quick tips and a recap of how it all went. Did a training on the Facebook events. And I really wasn't interested. I remember holding Mac, bouncing him on my knee, thinking, I ain't got time for this. And I don't understand it. And it just sounded too hard and overwhelming. And so I really intended to not ever use that. I thought, Lord, I'll just keep posting on Facebook and you just keep sending them my way and that'll be perfect. I don't need to do Facebook events. But a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine who was on a separate team out on the opposite side of the country from me, she started posting these cute pictures of little pajamas, and I think one was her and her daughter, saying that she was having a pajama party. And it just clicked. It sounded so cute. It sounded laid back. It was original. And so I sent her a message and asked if I could kind of be a fly on the wall and just watch what she did. And she replied quickly and said that it was actually her upline doing it, and she was doing the same thing. She just wanted to learn how to do this herself and invited me to join. And so I watched their event take place. It was made on a group page as opposed to an event page. And I just sat in and kind of watched how she did it. Her upline posted every few minutes. There was lots of excitement. There was a huge buzz, lots of people asking questions. At the end, even the next day and 2 days later, people were still commenting on the post. Since it was set up as a group, you could still see everything days later. And so you could see ambassadors were still answering questions. And I was just excited. I thought, okay, this is so doable and it's so cute. I'm going to do it myself. Little did I realize that everything this gal did, she got from training. So if you go to Tamara, I think it's Tamara and Elizabeth's convention Facebook page, there's tons of files. One of the files has all of the entire script for a Facebook event, exactly what to post the day of, exactly what to post a half hour before your event starts. It's all right there. It's super, super simple. And here I was taking all these notes and copying and pasting and taking screenshots of everything she did when really it's all put together for you. So I just did the same thing. I set it up for, I was so excited. I think I set it up for like 4 days later and copied the same pajama image. I can send it to anyone who wants it. I used some random photo app to put the date and time and when it would be, and just started promoting it to our team and to friends, to those who were brand new ambassadors and just needed to learn more about our products, to those who were current customers and needed more information or would just like to learn more information, to those who were on the fence and who we've kind of been following up with but haven't quite taken the plunge yet. And just posting it on the wall as well. And then we did it Thursday night, so I guess this is 2 Thursdays ago. I don't even know. My dates are so confused right now. But I had it at about 9 o'clock Eastern time so that those in the West Coast could join us as well. And, I had tons of adrenaline going into it, but once we got going, it was so simple, it's almost ridiculous. I just sat there and posted every 5 minutes or so, especially if I did a drawing. I said I would draw the name in 5 minutes. So I would make my post and I would pin the new post so that all the new people could refresh their page and they would see the newest post. And then I had Chad next to me answering questions. My upline, Heather, was on there answering questions. Other ambassadors on our team and those cross-line from me, they're on Heather's team, were also helping answer questions. And I highly recommend that if you're going to do an event. If your spouse is an ambassador, have them along, or others on your team or your upline, because it is busy. It's a full-time job for that hour and a half, just making those posts and spacing them out about 5 minutes, sometimes even closer. If it was a really short post, I'd do it closer together. And if it was something with a video, I'd give them enough time to really watch the video and respond and ask their questions. But you do want to have a few ambassadors. I've seen other teams now, they kind of delegate who would do what. So they'd have one ambassador do the first 10 posts and another ambassador do the second 10 posts. You can have fun with it and mix it up. But for me, definitely my attention was on making the post. Every so often I could answer a question, but for the most part, during the actual event itself, Chad and Heather and others were answering questions. But we got a great response right away. People were asking questions. I was looking at Chad like, they like this. This is really working. They were learning about the products. They were excited about the products. That evening, Chad and I were up till almost midnight answering questions. We had 4 different people email saying they wanted to become ambassadors. We had one gal who had been an ambassador for a few months, had placed an order maybe one time, all of a sudden get on and order $180 worth of product because she was excited. She had learned more information. She had more understanding of what to do with these products. So that was cool. And altogether, just a really good buzz. It's in our group, just like the one I had attended, people were still answering questions the next day. And even some people, since it was set up as a group, we had some respond the next day or day after saying, I'm so sorry that I missed your event. Something came up. And I was able to say, you know what? All the information's right there. If you'd like, I can add you to the page and you can look around and see what you missed. And sure enough, they'd hop on and they were able to scroll through. The posts are no longer in order. You know how they'll kind of, the one that was most recently commented on will go to the top. but that's okay. They were able to still read through and see the interaction. See, if I posted about Slim, for instance, other ambassadors would comment on what changes they've experienced since starting on Slim or on Triplex. So it was just really a fun event. It was an easy event. It was duplicatable, something that anyone can do. And so we thoroughly plan on having more. And if any of you are interested in having one yourself, I definitely recommend it, and I'm here to help in any way possible. Oh, one more thing that is not in the Tamara Holloway training is I did add a video at the beginning just to make it more personal. I knew people were joining us that don't know my story, and I just wanted to feel like we were in person, even though we weren't. So I did pre-record. That's my secret. I tried to make it seem like it was live, but I pre-recorded a video of myself welcoming them to our pajama party and sharing a bit about my story before the party began. And then I also used that video on my wall and said, you know what, just in case you're online, you want to join us, hop on in, you're still welcome. So then I ended up having traction on that video on my personal wall, those that maybe weren't at the pajama party, but they were curious enough to at least watch my story. And that was all the more exposure then to the products and to what they could do for them. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, I'm an open book. And if you want to copy anything, go for it. I would love to help you. Have a great night.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, you could probably hear me the whole time. Jetty texted me in the middle of things. He goes, you realize people can see you? And I'm like, because I was texting him to say, can you hear the video? Can you see the video? Is it clear? Because at one point, did you hear something that sounded robotic? Yeah, okay. I was afraid we were getting feedback from something weird. So anyway, sorry if I distracted you. Do what?
Somebody just joined in and you could hear them.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, oh my gosh, of course it's going to ruin this. Okay, Krista is like the sweetest thing ever, so you may not have as good a pajama party as she did because hers was pretty awesome. She's really sweet. But I wanted to show you, if I can, give me 1 second here. I'm going to share screen with you again. I'm going to have to go searching for this because I didn't think about, I thought about it earlier and then I forgot I was going to, well, 1 second. Oh, you guys have grace with me for 1 second here. I want to show you. Now remember, this was written for doing it as an online event, you know, where you can create an event. And she decided to go with doing it as a group, which I really like for lots of reasons. One reason being, okay, this is what hers looks like. It's a group, secret group, Plexus Pajama Party. She's got this cute little graphic here. I want to show you something that's really cool about a group. Right here, seen by. Now that's a high traffic one. That was seen by 94 people. Let's see, these posts, as she was posting them, seen by 105. So she literally knows that as these people are joining the party, because this is a group setting, she can see seen by 97. And you can click that and it'll show you all 97 names of the people who saw that post. Whether they commented or not, they saw it. See? Like this. So that's one of the benefits of having it as a group as opposed to an online event. There's probably others. That's just the first thing that popped into my mind. This is the video she was referring to. I'm not going to have you watch the entire thing, but I want you to feel the coziness. I'm going to let you watch like the first minute or so, and I want you to feel the coziness of the video she made. She said she put it at the top of the group, and she also put it on her page right before she started the party that was just basically, and she typed something that basically said, hey, if you're online and you're not busy and you want to join us, we're having a pajama party. So let me see if I can get this working for you for a second so you can kind of get an idea. This is what this is all about, is giving you an idea.
Hey guys, welcome to our pajama party. I don't know about you, but I am in my pajamas. I have been in my PJs almost the entire day. It's just been one of those days. But I'm excited to spend tonight with you. I still have one little booger that's still awake, but he'll be going down soon, and it's time to just have some fun. My name's Krista Deary. I'm a Senior Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. My husband Chad and I have been married for 14 years, and we have 7 children, ages 13 down to 1. This is Judah. Say hi, baby. And Judah, when he was about 5 weeks old, suffered 2 traumatic brain hemorrhages. They were spontaneous bleeds that were very unexpected and completely changed the course of all of our lives. At the time, he was not expected to live, and we were told if he did live that he would be brain dead, blind, and deaf, but God's been doing a mighty work in him. But in that journey, it not only affected Judah and his development, in his life, but it affected all of us, and it affected my health as well. I don't know if you've ever been a caregiver yourself, or maybe you know a caregiver. It's a taxing role, whether it's for a parent that's further along in life or a loved one that is ill. It's taxing to be a caregiver. We do have.
Okay, Okay, I'm coming back to you. I wanted you just to feel the coziness of it, of how you could just feel like she's literally doing it live. I loved that. I think that she said that was basically her goal. She wanted, when people joined, she wanted them to be able to watch that video right in the very beginning and be like, okay, this is what's going on. And she opened it with her story in a very cozy, informal tone. And she talks about her son who has, I can't remember, Heather, what's it called that he has? Was there a name? We don't know. Okay, yeah, something. And regardless, it was basically something that happened after he was 5 weeks old. And anyway, that's not part of her Plexus story necessarily, but it's part of her story. And it just warms you up to who she is, what she's about. And I would encourage you, if you did something, if you did one of these, that you would tell a little bit about your story. You can tell something personal. I thought that was very endearing about her. I mean, not did I think it was. It is very endearing about her story, her journey, all of this. So I wanted you to see how cool it is. And then I want to show you really quick. I'm going to share screen one more time. I think I may end up with more than one version of this to put on the butterfly page. But I want you to look at how simple this is in case you are watching this and you don't already get it. Now you get it. This is basically the day before, this type of stuff. The day of, post these throughout the day. And then she literally gives you, there are the graphics to use, and you're supposed to post these posts like 20 minutes ahead of time. It's literally, you don't have to even think. If you can follow instructions, you can do this 20 minutes ahead of time, 5 minutes ahead of time. Start time, enter for your chance to win, and she does a drawing. And the graphics are here, the posts are here, and if you literally, like she said, I think it would be very important to have at least one helper. If you're a new ambassador and you can get your online to join you, if you can get your spouse to join you, so that one person can be doing the posting. I'm going to keep scrolling. Literally, I feel fear falling off of you as you're going, oh, she wasn't joking. It's literally there for you. It's like right there. All you got to do is literally watch. I'm going to click this. Oh, wait. This is a little different on this computer. You can literally cut and paste. Yeah, I literally can't. Not from this thing, I can't. Hang on. Yeah, I could literally cut and paste each of these graphics and post it on that Facebook group. And I can literally highlight the post like this. Highlight each post and post one at a time in 5-minute intervals, okay? And it gives you takes all the dummy work out of it. You can do all of this without even having to think. And then it's over with. And you have somebody else that's helping you to, hang on, I'm going to quit sharing screen now. You can have someone helping you to answer questions, because as you've invited people to join you, you've added people to the group, you've invited people to join you're spending time before. She said she did it in a 4-day span. Honestly, I think that's pretty smart. You don't, Heather? I'm sorry, she didn't do the event in a 4-day span.
Right.
I didn't mean that. Okay, she was saying I was being confusing. She made the decision. Sorry about that. Yeah, that did sound confusing. She made the decision and started telling people about it. And within 4 days, that sound more like that's what I meant anyway, but I was saying it in a weird way. In 4 days' time, she announced that she was going to do it, and then 4 days later, she did it. If you announce that you're going to do it 2 weeks from now, I don't know. That might be a smart way. It depends on the crowd you run with, if they need 2 weeks notice or not. But I kind of think the 4 days ahead of time announcement is a cool idea. And then you're promoting it as you lead up to it. And then you jump on there that night. And by her posting that video the night of, how many times are you sitting doing nothing at like 7:30 at night and you're scrolling through Facebook? And if you saw that sweet video of her and you're like, hey, I'm going to be nosy and jump on there and see what's going on. So that was also a very smart move of hers. And she's had a lot. I think she said she had 4 join her team that night and lots of new customers. I'm sure she continued. She made this video for me several days ago, so I'm sure she's had even more interaction since then. If you could give a few hours, literally like a couple of hours of time in a given night towards something like this and have 4 new team members join, that would put you going silver. Remember when we talked about that? Going silver every single month if you did this once a month. As you're basically adding new people to your list, any of those who are following that Selling from the Heart group, I'm showing you how to edify, how to make lists of people who are non-Plexus people who like your comment, who like your post on Facebook. And as you're creating this list in your phone, you're adding new people to it. Those are the prospects that you add to your next online party. Now, I mean, you can have prospects from wherever, but let's say you do it once a month and you're like, okay, I invited all my friends and family. Who next? Well, if you're using the people that you're attracting in with the honey posts that we're learning on that Plexus Selling from the Heart group, you're keeping a list of your edifying people. You're adding those people. You're using that list to add people to the group the next month. If you're going silver every month, I know you don't go silver every month. You go silver and then eventually you go gold and then you go senior gold. But if you do the activity that it takes to go silver every month and you're teaching people to duplicate that, it does not take long to get to emerald. It's all about duplication. You're saying, this is what I did. I hosted an online event. That's how you joined. Now this is what you turn around and go to. You do this with your friends. It's really, like I said, they've taken the dummy work out of it. It's really amazing duplication. If you don't like the wording of some of the posts, go in there and change some of the dummy work. Put your own magic in there, your own spin or onto it or whatever. But, okay, I've got to read. Hang on a second. This chat, I see all this chat. I'm going to make sure there's not any questions that are going. Okay.
I have something to add.
Yes, please.
One thing I would add to the party is to put numeral, like post number 1, post number 2 on each before you post, okay. Because then people can go through it and if they're late to the party, they can go through and see which numbers they've missed.
Okay, really good. See, that's great. I made a graphic for a few of my group pages that I'm on. Here, hang on, I'm going to share screen with you again. This is one of the smartest things I've ever done. This is relating to what she just said. Okay, let's go to, I'm going to pull everybody over here just a second. Let's go to the butterfly page. And see this right here, this graphic that I made. I use PicMonkey. It's www.picmonkey.com to make my graphics. I use the, I probably should do a Zoom on this one sometime, but basically if you go in there and you choose to make a collage, and then over on the left you choose to make a Facebook cover photo, it makes it exactly the size. It gives you the squares, and you fill the squares with patterns, pictures, words, whatever you want to do, so that you can make yourself a group photo like this, or whatever they call them, cover photo. That's the word I'm looking for. Well, yeah, okay, on here it's called a group photo because I'm in a group. But you can put this right here. Hang on, let me get out of there so it'll quit doing that. Okay, right here, use the search bar to type in keywords. Ever since I made all my group photos have that on there, people are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I didn't realize that actually existed. This right here, where you can go to search the group where the little magnifying glass is, you can type in something like Zoom. And when you do that, it's going to pull up every time someone says, see, highlights, Zoom. Don't miss tonight's Zoom. Don't miss tomorrow night's Zoom. That was yesterday's post. And you go on so on and so forth. So you could also even do like this. I'm sure most of you know this, but just in case you don't. Now that's going to pull up every time someone's mentioned the word fibromyalgia within this group. Also, if you're doing a group like what we're discussing here, you could put in, if you're labeling them post 1, post 2, then people can, if you have this kind of search cover photo thing made, people can use the search bar here and pull up post 1, post 2, and you could mention that in your video if you wanted to. In the very first post, you could say use the whatever search bar thing here to search each post. That way they don't feel like they're getting lost. That's the worst. That's the bad thing about groups. But groups and event pages and all of pretty much any Facebook way of doing this type of thing is going to be like that, where the thing that commented on the most recent is going to bump to the top. So that's okay. But if someone's wanting to do it in order, I'm one of those people that would just get on there and start reading. It wouldn't matter if it was in order to me. But most people want to get on there and read things in the right order. So, okay, let me go back to where I'm not sharing screen with you guys again. So, anyway, I thought this was a fabulous idea. I'm going to put a challenge out there to you guys. We've got 1, 2, I'm going to see how many people. Got 53 people on the call tonight. I would like to challenge you guys, not by next week's Zoom, but by the following week. So let's give you 2 weeks out. I would like to challenge you to, if this exact concept is not cool to you, if you think the pajama party, if you're a guy and you're like, okay, that's lame, you don't have to call it a pajama party if that's like against your morals. But if you do something like this, it'd be really cool. You'll be surprised. Let me tell you something. You will be surprised how many men are sick and out there after every meal that they do. They're, you got, it don't matter how sexy they are, does it, Jetty? It don't matter how sexy they are. I'm just telling you. It don't matter. Boys are sick too. They're just less inclined to talk about it, but they're more inclined to talk about it to another boy. Boys that I grew up with, once Jetty became an ambassador, they've never met Jetty in their life, but once Jetty became an ambassador, they're private messaging Jetty saying, hey man, hey, I have a question. Something they wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude, then that's fine. You just be Jetty's customer. And that's because I guess they can talk in their little lingo. They don't really have to talk about it much. They can say like 2 or 3 words like heartburn, and you got something for me. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to mute y'all again. So maybe they wouldn't be. Oh, wait. I think I muted somebody who was trying to say something. Somebody say something if you were going to.
Yeah, just me. I was saying you don't even have to communicate. You just look at each other and you know what you're talking about. You know the guy.
Y'all just grunt.
Yep.
Right. So anyway, so if you guys would consider calling it something maybe more manly or whatever, you can be creative, put your own spin on this thing. I'm thinking of all the things that you could possibly call it. But anyway, you could do this. And if you're a husband and wife team, if you got a female in the package, it's easier to do it as a pajama party, because then you just make your girl pretend like it's her thing and you're just helping. But then you invite your friends to it. That's kind of how Plexus works a lot of the time anyway. You get the girl involved, whatever. Anyway, so this is a great idea. I would love to know 2 weeks from tonight how many of you actually decided to do this, and will they be willing to share some of your goodness. Wait a minute. Woo. Oh, somebody says they did one last night and it was great. Had one ambassador sign up last night. Awesome. That is great. I don't know who that person is, though. I can't tell enough from their screen name to know who they are. Anyway, so this is my cool awesomeness idea for tonight, and it wasn't even my idea, and I didn't think it was cool. I thought it was dumb. And now I'm all like, oh. I found out that. Wait, if somebody wanted to talk to me, y'all go ahead.
Hey, I was thinking of trying a Periscope or what's the other one? Periscope or use his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
I was considering trying to do a party on that. You ever heard?
Yeah. Could you? Well.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, I know what those things are. I don't know how, if you know how to navigate to make that happen, yeah. Do you think you could make it happen on Twitter?
Possibly. I don't know. I wanted to give it a try one of these days. I just trying to plan it out. Like I said, I just got back from Connecticut, so I had to catch up on school and this, so.
Well, if you figure out a way that you could navigate that, because the thing about Facebook and being able to create groups, and I'm going to confess to you that I'm not as literate with Twitter. I'm just becoming literate with Periscope. So if you figure out a cool way to do that, I'd love for you to make us an outline of how you did it. So let me think. I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you guys. Let me look at the notes really quick and make sure I've covered everything before I let you guys go. Oh, I know. I'm going to share one more thing with you guys. Tonight, now y'all don't get on to me if there's preservatives in this, because there likely are, except for maybe some of it. But because I'm fixing to make an announcement that I've wanted to make my whole life. I chased myself down a Schwann's man. Schwann's man. Do y'all have Schwann? Is that universal? Is that like across the country? Everybody knows what a Schwann's man is? Okay. All my life growing up, I was like, I had one friend whose family could afford some Schwann's. And do you say it with the CH? I say it. That's how I'm going to say it, because they shouldn't have spelled it that way if they didn't want me to say it that way. If she was having Schwann's that night, I wanted to go over to her house to spend the night, because I thought that food was the yummiest food that existed. Well, there was a Schwann's truck that was headed down right by my street. They turned the street next to me, and I said to Malia, I can afford that. That's what I said. I said, I can afford that. She's like, afford what? Are you going to buy that truck? And I said, I might. And I followed him down the street next to us. I chased that dude down, and I was like, hey. I know he thought I was going to, like drive by or something, because I look like a crazy person. I'm like, hey, are you this Schwann's man? I don't know how this works. I had a friend growing up, and I started telling him, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I had a friend growing up who had Schwann's, and I want some Schwans. And they're all like, he's all like, this is, I'm on a, basically he's running someone else's route today. And I said, oh, well, who would my Schwan's man be? He's like, well, and he answers a couple of questions for me. He hands me a catalog. He hands me like some sort of little online thing where I can go and order. I said, is this online now? I thought the Schwan's man comes to your house. What are you doing over here in my neighborhood? And he's like, no, ma'am. I mean, he's like, he's giving me the calm down. And I says, I can come over to your street in a minute. And I'm like, you come on over there. I want some pork chops and maybe some grilled vegetables. And what else did we get, Jetty? You go ahead and.
I don't know.
You don't know.
You chose it all.
I want some chicken strips. Oh, the luxuries of being able to forge some Schwan's food. I always I don't like to grocery shop. It's the most hateful part of my week. If I have to go grocery shopping, I hate it. Jetty has to do it, and I'm bad at it.
She does not do the grocery shopping at all.
I don't do. It's because I hate it. But now I have a man that does my grocery shopping for me, and he drives that big refrigerated truck. And I had to share that with all of you guys because I knew you'd get a bang out of it. Well, if you know what Schwan's is, you would. Have you ever had some of that food? I mean, I didn't order a single ice cream sandwich. I didn't order any. Did we order any dessert?
No, there was no ice cream or anything like that.
No. I think I ordered. Malia wanted some of their little frozen pretzel things they're like Bavarian, the soft doughs. I'm sure that's not good for you. But other than that, we ordered really.
You didn't get any push-ups?
Did what?
The push-ups. That was the best growing up.
I didn't this time.
I was eyeing one of those chocolate covered caramel ice cream on a stick deal, but she.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We did eye a lot of that stuff. It looked their catalog now looks like a magazine, and it has all kinds of the photography in it's beautiful. It's very tantalizing, and I didn't want to look at their ingredient list. I was a little scared of that, but I was pretty sure that pork chops were made out of pig. Sorry if that offends anybody. I was pretty sure that squash and zucchini and all that kind of stuff was coming out of a garden of some sort. Maybe not, but as good as the garden at Walmart is all I'm going to say. And I was super excited about it. And you know what? I bought enough that the dude was like, hey, I'm going to send the other man, the regular man from this route. He's coming. He's coming. By the way, he couldn't get my card to run because his little machine was messed up. He was so embarrassed and all this. Anyway, while he's talking, and he's embarrassed because we're late for church. We were about to be late for church. I have my wallet, and I open up, and I go in there to grab a business card while he's just sitting there like sweating, trying to get this transaction to happen. And I take my business card, and I slide it in his shirt pocket. And I said, sir, while you're doing that, it was trying to bring up the latitude and longitude of where I live for this other man who's going to come see us next week. I slide it in his pocket, and I said, I work for this company. I probably should stop recording at this point, but because what I'm about to say is so not supposed to say. I said, sir, I work for this company, and we have stuff that helps with blood sugar and autoimmune disorders. Anyway, if you should happen to know anyone that has that kind of issue, you need to look at my card when you get home. I just put it in your pocket. He looked at me and he said, he's from a total other town, like Edmond, so 2 hours north of me, and he's running this alternate route today. And he said, what's it called? Now he looks at my business card, and my business card doesn't say the name. My business card has all kinds of other cool stuff on it, but it doesn't say the name of the company. And he goes, what's it called? And I told him what it was called, and he goes, I think my wife sells that. And I was like, how do you think your wife sells it? I said, you think your wife sells it or your wife sells it? Well, she sells something that sounds like what you're talking about, but I don't know for sure. He goes, is it really for weight loss, but it's not? And I was like, she does sell it. That's awesome. And so anyway, like looking her up on Facebook. So I don't know why I felt inclined to tell you guys that story, but anyway, I had to celebrate the victory of having my own Schwanzman. I haven't met the real one yet.
He came in doing cartwheels.
Yes. As he's bringing in those little frozen boxes, I was like, ooh, it's a frozen fruit. Oh, I don't have to go to the grocery store. So anyway, okay, so I'm definitely going to close, you guys. Seriously, if this food is super, super bad for you, I don't want to know about it. I'm looking at you, Heather Grenier. Don't tell me. Don't ruin it. She wouldn't. She's so sweet, she wouldn't, but she'll know. I know she knows already. She's like, that squash has been injected with kryptonite. Okay. So anyway, so tonight, after the most entertaining Zoom we've done in a while, let's close this in prayer so that some of you people that are on a different coast than me, like I'm on a coast, can get to bed, okay? Lord, we lift you up tonight. We magnify you for all that you are in our lives. We're just grateful. Oh, so grateful. So grateful for such a cool team of people. We're so grateful for you and who you are to us, for your grace on our lives, for the mercy that you reflect on us. Because we know we fail you every single day, Lord, but you never fail us. And when I think about the word magnify. Lord, we just magnify you like a magnifying glass. We just put the magnifying glass on you and shine all of that glory right back up to you, Lord. I just pray that we can be a window for your Holy Spirit, that you would just shine your light through us, and that's what people will see when we open our mouths and when we say something silly and when we do crazy things, Lord, that our light would shine, your light would shine through us, not our light. Thank you for all the people that you will continue to send our way. We couldn't be more grateful. Thank you for the mercy you reflect on our lives and opportunities that you give us. Even if we goof up those opportunities, Lord, I'm just so grateful that you give them to us to learn, to grow, to be more through you and for you. I pray over the families on this team. I pray for strong family bonds and really strong marital bonds that even when they're tested can't be broken. Such amazing strength, all from you, Lord. And we're just thankful for small victories every single day and any glimmer that you can give us of your huge, amazing plan that you have through this company. All the little glimpses, all the little glimmers, anything that can give us just hope to go on one more day, Lord. We just ask you to shine those for us and open our eyes to those things. If anyone's hurting tonight, if there's anybody struggling tonight, Lord, I'll lift those things up to you. If they're hurting on behalf of someone else, someone else's struggles, I lift those things up to you too, Lord. And I just pray that we know that we are just to lay those things at your feet because it's all part of your plan. Even though we don't understand your plan, Lord, many times we have no idea what's going on. In fact, probably most of the time. I just pray that you give us peace in spite of that. And I ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So if anybody has anything that you need to ask or say or whatever, I know I've made this call go too long. I'm sorry about that. The Schwann's truck made it go too long. It was his fault. But I don't have anywhere I have to go, but I know some of you have to say goodnight, and that's okay. You guys feel free to go to bed or go tend to your kids or what you have to do. But if any of you have any questions, go ahead.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if there's like maybe any time in the future that they might think of like labeling the capsules or anything, so that, because I noticed like one day this is what happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to other people. I'm dumping my BioCleanse, I'm grabbing my ProBio, I'm grabbing my Accelerator, and then I was at the hotel the one night when my sister and I were traveling, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I completely forgot because I got a 2-year-old running around, I'm chasing and dumping my pills in my hand, and I'm like, I don't know what I have. And I'm like, I'm going to have to dump these because I don't want to accidentally have 4 accelerators in my body or, and scraping me off the ceiling. So.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you my answer. I'll tell you, you're not the only person that's experienced that, as you can imagine. It used to be really, really a really big issue. When I first started with the company, I have to tell you this history because this is fascinating to me. When I first started with the company, no one used the ProBio 5. Like, that to me, like, causes a firecracker explosion in my head, the thought that no one used it really. And so the first time I complained about this issue was because Accelerator and ProBio bottles and capsules were almost, at that time, were completely almost identical. And many people were giving Accelerator giving ProBio, we're giving ProBio 5, sometimes 2 every night to their kids. And yeah, and the bottle looks the same. The capsule at the time was completely indistinguishable. And I know that we have at least one person on the call that has taken on accident a couple of Accelerator at night thinking they were taking a ProBio. Yeah, it's Missy. I knew she was going to raise her hand. And didn't know what was going on, like thought they were having a stroke or because they can't go to sleep. They think they should be able to go to sleep, and they don't realize, oh, it's because I took a daytime, whatever. So I had to share that first. But then to say this, they have come a long way in the fact that the bottles don't look exactly the same anymore. I think anything that they do to the capsules, like at one time I was insistent they should color the capsules, but that causes problems. That causes problems with people who have allergies to dyes and that type of thing. So maybe eventually, at least now, like they're starting to make the lids. Some of the lids are different colors. Anything that they do to the capsules themselves causes a problem. And so, and it causes a problem for us that the capsules all look the same. So, I don't know. And I guess they don't want to shape them like stars because that might So, so I don't really know. I know this much that when I called the company about it the first time and said, hey, literally, kids are taking one of these and they don't need to be taking the other and blah, blah, blah. They had no idea that it was a big deal at all because it was only a big deal to my team because nobody was taking anything but Slim and Accelerator at the time, except my team. And that's the honest, Jetty, nod your head. That's the truth, isn't it? Nobody was even trying to promote the ProBio 5. That blows my mind looking back on it with what ProBio 5 will do. But they just didn't know. I'm not making fun. I'm just saying to think about it now. They had no idea what it would do for your immune system because it was promoted to get rid of a sugar tooth. So if somebody ever comes up with some brilliant way that would make that work without using stuff that would cause allergic reactions with people, then you should definitely let them know because I agree with that. Sorry, though. I'm sorry I didn't have a better answer for you, but that's kind of give you a little history to know that they've at least been working on making the bottles not looking the same because that was really bad. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, that's one reason we've tried to have each bottle have its own identity. That way, they're not a bunch of white bottles with, the label may be different but kind of look the same. It's kind of like, the E's, it's blue. We try to make them.
Word of your hand, though. I know what we all know what you're saying. Everybody knows what you're saying. Sarah, did you have something to say?
I did. I was just wondering. I've seen random posts through the week about this Periscope, and I have no idea what it is. Okay. So I don't know. I don't want to take your time tonight, but I don't know if that's something maybe we could touch on at some point.
I can answer that now.
Okay.
tell you what I know.
Okay.
Is somebody sharing screen with us?
I don't know what's happening there.
Okay. I want to make it quit. Hang on. Okay. We're seeing what's going on here.
Says DC screen.
BC.
Oh, okay. Somebody else is sharing their screen. So, okay, what I know about Periscope, here we go.
There
What
you
I
go.
know about it is that it's an app that you can download on your phone. It's live broadcasting. So basically, the only way people will see what you're doing is if you have a lot of people who follow you. And basically, when you decide to broadcast live, if they have their notifications turned on, it will send them a notification that's just like a text or any other notification on your phone that'll say the title, like who's broadcasting, so it'll have your handle or your username, and then it'll say the title of whatever you titled your broadcast, and it will say you're broadcasting live right now. And you can click it and watch what they're talking about. It's only interesting if they're interesting, if that makes sense. So like, the first few ones that I did, I was just like seeing what it was. And over on the side, you'll see little hearts bubbling up. I don't know if you've watched one or not, but you'll see little hearts bubbling up, and people can send you hearts. It's like liking. It's like sending you a like, but they can double tap the screen, and when they're double tapping the screen, it's sending little hearts up. And they can also comment live. It's live feed, and they can comment while you're videoing, while you're talking. So you're not really, it does save it for you if you want to, but you're not really videoing, you're just going live. And they can chat, and you can answer their questions, or you can just respond, or you can ignore it, whatever. So it's cool, like, because I'm just being honest with you here. Because I have a following of Plexus, other people's Plexus ambassadors, it's cool because I can get on there and get immediate response from people. If you went on there and you don't get a lot of people to follow you, like you have to put it on your Facebook and places to let people know that you were doing it. If you didn't have a lot of following, then it's not something I understand very well at that point. There may be something to it that I don't understand yet, because I used to think Facebook was lame. I'm going to be honest with you. So I don't know. I may eventually figure out, oh, this is what it's brilliant for. At this point, it's cool. It'd be really cool to follow some of the jewels that you like, because when they go live, lots of times they're giving tips and pointers and stuff like that and letting people ask them questions. That's what I would see that you could use it for, because you don't have to broadcast. You can just follow people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it always live? You can't record it and then upload it? Everything you do on it's live. So if you were to put a shoot on there and you're like, oh, I don't like that, you can't redo it?
Right.
Sorry?
You're talking to them in real time. It does record it, and it saves it for 24 hours so that people who didn't catch it live can still watch it. And there's even where you can even save it to your camera roll. You can tell it to save to your camera roll, and it'll save it. You can upload it somewhere else. But where people can respond to you is when it's going on live. And the thing I haven't gotten used to yet is while I'm talking, I'm having to say, oh, hi. Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, yeah, from Oklahoma. Oh, from Idaho. Oh, good to see you, too. I'm having to respond to these people. If I'm going to respond at all, I can't respond after the fact because it's not, there's nowhere to respond. There's no feed. There's no profile. There's no place to go back and answer their questions. If I miss their questions, because the questions are doing like this, like they're rolling credits. And so if I miss their question while I'm answering another question, I can go back and watch the video later, but I can't actually respond to their question. Does that make sense? It's kind of weird.
You got to go to your Twitter feed when you do that, because it's going live to your Twitter feed as conversations are going.
Yes, it is. Periscope and Twitter are like married somehow.
Meerkat is another one that does that.
Yes, Meerkat does it too. So it is cool. It's cool to watch. It's kind of a voyeur type. It's like, okay, somebody's doing something. Sometimes they're doing something that they're doing something. It's just like Facebook. sometimes they're doing something that you're like, oh, this is worth watching. And sometimes they're like showing you their breakfast. Seriously. So you never know what you're going to get, but you can get on there and watch. Either way, it's a little piece of people's lives. It's kind of like reality TV. Yeah. So I've done
showing you farmland.
Yeah. I've seen some that were really good that I was like, oh, this is cool. It's relevant information to share with your teams and stuff. Awesome. And I'm sure Jesse said that there are network marketing people who that do, periscopes and stuff. I'm sure it's to gain more following, those people, to sell their books and stuff like that. But those would be worth watching. I'm sure they have good tips. Anybody else have a question?
I thought it would be cool to try that and see how it goes. Like, if I could get a couple different people on board. Because like I said with the pajama party, like she said with the pajama party, you can't just do it by yourself. You got to have someone on the text, like you're saying. It's hard to read the text at the same time while you're talking. And
on something like that, I feel like you would have to promo it for like, hey, next Tuesday at noon or whatever, next Wednesday at 8 p.m., I'm going to be broadcasting live about what I do now. If you guys would be...
Well, it's just like this, the Zoom thing,
Yes.
It's just a different format, but
That's right.
And you can get other people going.
You don't see their faces. They can see everything you're doing, and they're commenting, but they don't see. They're commenting text form, and you don't see their faces. If you flip the, like if you're doing it like this, like I do, you guys have seen all my videos. I do them like this. When you start the broadcast, it's actually filming what you're looking at rather than you, and you have to. I think you double tap your screen. Yeah. You double tap your screen and it flips your phone to selfie mode or whatever so that you can actually
I got a mirror here.
Yeah. And so the other night, Missy and Carl and I were all on a Zoom meeting, and then we periscoped the Zoom meeting just for giggles to see and we got a lot of feedback from that. So silly stuff gets a lot of feedback. Actually, we got a lot. Actually, people were sending me screen captures of the Zoom, because we were all wearing funny sunglasses and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, are you periscoping right now, DC?
No, this is Meerkat. Somebody on Meerkat.
Okay.
There's that text that you're talking about. It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much same thing, kind of.
So, by the way, I'm going to stop the recording for tonight.